An ordinary stone becomes a stone table worth thousands or even tens of thousands. What is the process behind it? Today, let's follow Lal Ba's stonemason to find out. As you can see, because the conditions are limited, the craftsman uses the most traditional method, splitting the large stone with hammer and chisel. Pakistan is a country rich in geological resources. Most of its land is mountains and plateaus. Whether jade, gemstones, or decorative building stone like this. Stoneworking here has a long history. After chiseling 3 holes in the surface, the craftsman hammers iron wedges in, splitting the stone this way. Since the stone table has 2 legs, Lal Ba now needs to prepare another piece in the same way. As for that process, we won't go into detail here. Next, after confirming the dimensions, the material is trimmed, because it will later be turned on a lathe. The edges are smoothed in advance to make the next work easier. This traditional method is tiring, but relatively safe and reliable, and actually not too inefficient. At this point, the edge treatment is good enough. Next, at the thicker end, a square structure is cut with a machine, so it can later be fixed on the lathe more easily. Sometimes the craftsman glues a square block instead, depending on the size and structure of the material. You can see that one end is clamped tightly by the chuck of the lathe, while the other end is slightly supported. Once everything is secure, the machine is started and turning begins. Unlike wood, stone is harder, so the initial cuts cannot be too deep or too fast. Since the tool position must be adjusted constantly, the craftsman must stay beside the machine the whole time. Flying stone chips are nothing serious, but the fine stone dust that seeps everywhere is truly dangerous. Lal Ba wears no protection at all. If he does this long term, it's really worrying for his health. At this turning speed, how long do you think it would take to finish this piece? You can see the early turning is rough. After confirming the dimensions are correct, the craftsman changes his operation. The surface is smoothed as much as possible. Once the thickness and size are even, tools are used to check smoothness and flatness. Only then is the turning considered complete. One piece is done like this, and the other in the same way. When both are ready, the detailing begins. The craftsman uses a tape measure to draw lines, preparing for shaping. The lines are even and smooth, so the final details look perfect. This step looks simple, but even a master can make mistakes. Once the lines are marked, he cuts along them with the machine. The smoothness of the cut shows his skill. Like man and machine in perfect unity. After the vertical cuts are done, he cuts and grinds diagonally along the seams. This clearly isn't something learned in just a few days. Every cut shows the master's craftsmanship. But to refine the table legs to this level takes at least 2 to 3 hours. After all, the precision of an angle grinder is limited. Once it looks acceptable, the assistant takes over to polish the details of the legs. Because the legs are irregularly shaped, machine polishing is impractical. So every curve and surface must be polished by hand with sandpaper. This may look simple, but to achieve a perfect product, hand polishing takes almost as much time as shaping. Meanwhile, Lalba starts with the easiest part, the tabletop. He uses a piece that has already been cut and polished. The markings show where cutting and shaping are needed. Since this part is not very complex, the craftsman works with ease. In just a few moves, the shape is done. Next, the three pieces are assembled. The size fits perfectly, looking simple yet beautiful. Finally, let me ask you, how much do you think this set should sell for to be worth it?